Welcome to Shelf Life, the show where every week we put one food and beverage brand on the table and take its social media apart. The good, the bad, and the thing everybody's about to copy and shouldn't. I'm Giovanni Gallucci. Across the table this week, in the rotation, Alexis Parker. Alexis, what'd you bring me?
A can the color of a pool float, Gio. Poppy, the prebiotic soda that's in every cooler at every checkout and somehow got itself sold to Pepsi for almost $2 billion.
Perfect one to grade because Poppy might be the most studied come-up in the whole beverage aisle right now, and half the brands studying it are learning the exact wrong lesson. Allison Ellsworth started it in her kitchen back in 2015, mixing fruit juice and prebiotics and sparkling water with a soda stream, trying to fix her own stomach. Went on Shark Tank in 2018 when it was still called Mother, took 400 grand from Rohan Oza, and rebranded to Poppy in 2020.
And then what? The internet just found it?
Allison posted one TikTok in 2021 about her Shark Tank story. Over 1 million views and 100 grand in Amazon sales overnight. Their stuff has been watched north of 3 billion times on that app since. So the easy story is, pretty can plus TikTok equals a Pepsi check. That's the easy story, and it leaves out the part that actually matters. Let's take it apart.
Start me where you always start. The hook. Poppy shows up in my feed. Why do I stop?
2 reasons, and only one of them is the can. The can is a candy color in an aisle full of chrome and mountains. Pastel pink, pastel orange, big soft type, and it photographs like a prop instead of a beverage. That stops your thumb the first time. But the thing that built this brand is the face behind it. Allison put herself on camera as a regular woman who made a soda in her kitchen because store-bought stuff wrecked her gut. You didn't stop for an ad. You stopped for a person telling you a story you believed.
So the founder is the hook.
The founder is the whole doorway. And here's what I respect about it. She talked to the camera like she was talking to one friend, not a focus group. No gloss, no jingle, just, here's why I made this. That reads as true, and true is the rarest thing in a grocery feed. A competitor can copy her can at the printer in an afternoon. Nobody can copy the 10,000 people who feel like they know Allison. That's the asset that compounds. Every honest little video she posted early bought a little more trust, and trust is the one thing on a feed you can't buy back once you've spent it.
I keep seeing brands try to manufacture that founder thing now. It always feels off.
Because they start with the camera instead of the reason. Allison had a real stomach problem and a real soda stream before she had a single follower. The story came first, the content came second. Everybody copying her runs it backwards. They hire a photogenic founder type, point a ring light at them, and wonder why nobody believes it.
Give me the grade.
On the hook, I give Poppy an A-. Loud can, believable human. The minus is that a face is a beautiful hook and a fragile one, and we'll get to why.
Second thing you grade. Format fit. Are they using the right stuff for the platform?
Better than almost anybody in the category. Poppy got built for the phone first and the shelf second, and you can tell because every format they run is native. Founder talking straight to camera, creator hauls, get ready with me videos with a can just sitting in the frame, fridge restock clips. None of it looks like a commercial. All of it looks like something your cousin posted. That's the right call for TikTok and Instagram, where the second something smells like an ad, the thumb keeps moving.
So no glossy studio spots.
For years, almost none, and that was the discipline. Then the Pepsi money got in the picture, and they went and bought a Super Bowl ad in February of 2025. Called it Soda Thoughts, put Alex Earl and Jake Shane and Rob Roush in it. And look, the ad itself was fine. But the Super Bowl is the single least native format there is. 60 seconds, $7 million, a stadium crowd. It's the opposite of the kitchen counter honesty that built them.
So the format that made them famous and the format they spent the big money on are opposites.
They are, and that tension is the whole back half of this episode. On format fit, I still give them an A, because the day-to-day feed is textbook native content. Just know the grades for the small stuff, the phone stuff, not the stadium.
Cadence. Volume, rhythm, consistency. How do they do?
High volume, and mostly through other people's hands. Poppy doesn't just post a lot from its own account, it floods the zone with creators. On any given week, there are dozens, sometimes hundreds, of paid and gifted posts running at once. That's a real engine. When your product shows up in 50 feeds in the same week, from 50 faces the audience already trusts, it feels like the whole internet found you at the same time.
That sounds like a lot to keep from feeling like spam.
That's exactly the knife's edge, and it's where cadence stops being a numbers game and starts being a taste game. A flood of creators works right up until the audience notices it's a flood. The minute every person in your feed is holding the same pink can with the same 3 talking points, the trust that made it work starts leaking out the bottom. On Cadence, I give them a B+. The volume's there, the machine is real. The risk is that volume without restraint turns a movement into an ad break, and they've flirted with that line more than once. And the fix isn't fewer creators, it's a wider script. Give 50 people 50 different reasons to hold the can, not one talking point 50 times, and the flood starts reading like 50 real opinions instead of one press release handed out at the door.
Fourth, the community mechanic. How do they turn all those viewers into a fan base?
This is the most interesting grade of the day because it's where they've got the biggest win and the biggest self-inflicted wound sitting right next to each other. The win is that founder relationship we already talked about, plus a real customer base that films itself buying the stuff. People genuinely adopted this as their soda and made content about it for free. That's a fan base.
And the wound?
The wound has a name. Right before that Super Bowl, they shipped full-size branded vending machines to 32 influencers as a gift. Giant metal soda machines to individual creators for a TikTok moment. And the audience turned on it hard. People called it wasteful and tone-deaf, said send those machines to a school or a food bank or a break room, not to somebody who already gets everything for free.
Vending machines. To people who didn't need a vending machine.
Their own competitor Olipop poked at them, floated that each machine ran about 25 grand, which would put the stunt near $800,000. Poppy pushed back, said that number was inflated by better than half. Doesn't matter. Once the crowd decides you're out of touch, the receipt is beside the point.
So what's the actual lesson there?
The lesson is the whole reason I put this brand on the table. A community is a two-way thing. That stunt treated the audience like a backdrop for a flex instead of people you're in a relationship with. On the community mechanic, I give them a B-. The fan base is real, but they spent trust they didn't need to spend, and they spent it showing off.
So how should they've played it?
Point that same budget at the audience instead of at 32 people who already had cameras. Put the machine in the community that made you. A fan's break room, a college dorm, a little grocery that took a chance on the brand early. That's not charity, that's community management, and it's the cheapest loyalty you'll ever buy.
Last one, the retail to social loop, the grocery angle. How does the feed drive the shelf and back?
This is where Poppy is genuinely excellent, and it's the part operators should study hardest. The social demand came first and dragged the shelf space behind it. All those TikToks and all that Amazon volume gave them the receipts to walk into Target and Walmart and Kroger and say, "Look at this demand, give us the cold case by the register." Then the retail placement fed the social right back, because now the can is everywhere, so every haul video and every checkout line clip is free advertising shot in a store they don't even own.
So the shelf and the feed feed each other.
Round and round. A kid films a Target run, the can's in the cart, that clip sends 3 more people to Target, and the store reorders. That loop is the real machine under this brand. More than the can, more than the Super Bowl. On the retail to social loop, I give them a clean A. Best in the category. They understood before most people did that in food, your shelf placement and your social feed are the same growth engine wearing 2 different outfits.
And Pepsi bought the loop.
Pepsi bought the loop. Almost $2 billion, closed in the spring of 2025. They weren't buying a soda recipe. They were buying a demand machine that runs on other people's phones.
Okay, one thing they fix first. Go.
Discipline on the claims. That gut health lawsuit they settled for almost $9 million. The one arguing whether 2 grams of fiber in a can really does anything for you. That was never a factory problem. That was a copywriting problem. Their social and their labels wrote a health check the product couldn't cash, and it cost them. Fix the words. Say what's true about the drink and stop there. Your content can't promise what your product doesn't deliver because the internet keeps receipts.
And the mistake everyone copying them is about to make?
Everybody's copying the spectacle. The vending machines, the Super Bowl, the influencer flood. That's the shiny part, and it's the part that doesn't matter. The thing that actually built Poppy was one woman talking honestly to a camera about a real problem, years before any of the fireworks showed up. The copycats are buying the fireworks and skipping the foundation, and they're going to light a lot of money on fire wondering why their pretty can didn't turn into a Pepsi offer. Steal the honesty, not the vending machine. That's the teardown. And if you're a food or beverage brand watching Poppy and thinking your audience ought to feel like that, here's the honest read. Most brands don't have a product problem, they have a community problem. They post, people scroll on by, and the comment section is a ghost town. That's the thing I fix. I've spent 15 plus years running organic social media for food and beverage brands, turning a flat following into a fan base that shows up, films your product on its own, and drags its friends along. If your feed is busy but your community is dead, that's the work. And it's what I do. Come find me at gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. For Alexis Parker, I'm Giovanni Gallucci. That's Shelf Life. We'll put another one on the table next week.
See you next week, Gio.